You already own Bard's Tale and all affiliated products. Sending you back into the story. Sorry, I didn't quite understand you. Are you ready to start adventuring? This is the land of Kate, where dwarves, elves, and trolls walk side by side with humankind. The land is once again in turmoil as the central city of Skara Brae is undergoing changes. The oppression against the non-human races, the members of the Adventurers Guild, and all things magic, is escalating. A street urchin sits in one of the many alleys in the bustling city. Their path astray. The youth watches, as so many times before, the flow of people through the small corridor. Their stomach starts rumbling. Hunger, twisting and tearing, as it makes itself known again. A large shadow is suddenly cast over the alley, as a cloaked figure approaches.
Greetings, young one. I go by the name Sabal the Seeker. I seek out individuals that have fallen from the path laid out for them, and the threats I cast have led me to you. Say, if you could see a different future for yourself, what do you see? Do you see yourself weaving magic? Perhaps protecting others? Maybe a life of deception? Or singing inspiring songs? with the town guard growing more aggressive by the day. Sticking to the shadows is a wise choice indeed.
The youth reflected on this. This would set you on the path of trickery and theft. Your first-class ability will be Smoke Bomb, an ability which will stun an enemy during combat. Are you sure you want to live out the rest of your adventures as a rogue? As a part of owning the starter pack, you will receive the following. The Skulker's Cloak. This pitch-black cape will prove helpful should you ever find yourself on the wrong side of the law. As well as 4 healing potions, 20 gold, and enough experience points to level up to level 3. This will be done after your next combat. Have fun and enjoy The Bard's Tale, Warlocks of Largefern.
Interesting. For some time now, I've gathered individuals, not unlike yourself, in a new town down south. There is still a lot of work to be done, but it's shaping up nicely. Unfortunately, the town is suffering from hardship right now, and you are the one who can help. My ship, the Adir, is waiting at the docks. Just state my name to the captain. Seek out the Adventurers Guild when you arrive. Oh, and before I forget, take this.
You have just received your inventory. You can open it by saying "Open Inventory" when the opportunity arrives. All of the sudden, 2 men brandishing swords stop at the mouth of the alley, discussing something between themselves while glancing over at the 2 of you.
We are out of time. I will hold them off. You have to make it to the docks.
Not wanting to get caught up in the situation, you grab the bag and start running, leaving the commotion behind you. The last supplies are being loaded onto the Adir as you find it. And standing at the foot of the gangplank, a woman inspects a list.
Halt. What business brings you here? Let me guess. Sabal sent you. Well, before you can board, I need to fill in this form. A captain worth her coin needs at all time to know what she has aboard her ship. What is your name?
You can't remember ever having a name, but you have heard the street urchins of Scarabray being referred to as pigeon children.
What? A pigeon child? That's not very flattering. You could at least choose a different bird. Let's see. Maybe crow, raven, hawk, or sparrow. Very well then, Raven. I must admit, I quite like the sound of that nickname.
The captain notes it down and looks up at you.
That should be all. Feel free to board. We're leaving within the hour.
A life spent living on firm land has not prepared you for the journey at sea. You soon find your assigned spot under deck. The constant rocking, combined with the stench of sweat and sea salt, keep you close to your bunk bed. You struggle to adjust to the dim light. Try saying, "Look around," to inspect your surroundings closer. You will find that noteworthy things around you are highlighted by this signal. Interact with these highlighted objects by using any of the following key phrases. Look at, talk to, pick up, or use. For example, use door, or look at bed. You can also talk with your companions by saying talk to companion. Your eyes start to adjust to the dim light, and you take in your surroundings. You see your bunk bed and chest, assigned to you by the captain. The other passengers seemingly find themselves in the same miserable state as you, except an elven bard, rhythmically swaying while thrumming his lute. You should try to go to sleep, as the journey is long and you could use some shut-eye, though you also have some time to explore your surroundings. Well then, what do you want to do? You open the chest and find a pillow. You gain 3 experience points and gain a dirty pillow. You need a total of 10 experience points to level up. In order to level up, win a combat. The elven bard leans over.
Look at that! Yours barely has any stains. Lucky you. I will just have to ignore the brown spots on mine. Anyhow, a good nap should make this trip a whole lot more bearable.
Well then, what do you want to do? You consider going to sleep, hoping to wake up when the boat arrives at its destination. Are you ready to continue the journey? A firm grip on your shoulder stirs you from your deep sleep. The elven bard is standing over you, his gaze fixed on the back of a kneeling hooded figure rocking back and forth at the other side of the ship. A deep repetitive murmur can be heard coming from the figure.
Wake up, something is not right here. I noticed that fellow casting strange looks at you earlier, and now he is acting out of the ordinary.
The man suddenly turns silent and stops his rocking. He stands up slowly, turning towards the both of you. His appearance is covered with a mask made from a skull of some creature with pointed fangs, made to rip flesh. In his right hand, he is holding a ceremonial-looking dagger, its curved blade filled with strange markings.
It's been foretold, but I refuse to believe it.
The man suddenly lets out a primal scream as he lunges at you. Welcome to the combat tutorial for Bard's Tale. This tutorial is aimed to teach you the fundamentals of the Bard's Tale combat system. Do you wish to play this tutorial? Let's get started then. We will first take a look at the battlefield and positioning. The combat in Bard's Tale takes place on an 8-square grid. 4 squares, arranged in a 2x2 formation, belong to your party, and the enemy's squares mirror yours. The positions for this combat scenario are as follows. You are standing in the front left position. Your companion is standing in the back right position. And the enemy, the cultist, is standing in the front right position. If you at any point need a reminder where all the characters are positioned during combat, simply say, "Look around." Let's try it out. Try saying "look around." You are standing in the front left position. Your companion is standing in the back right position. And the enemy, the cultist, is standing in the front right position. Good. Let's take a look at movement next. You wouldn't want to stumble around the battlefield. Every combat scenario starts with you controlling your own character. Moving during combat is done by saying move, followed by the direction, or naming the square itself. Note that a character can't move diagonally. Also, if you move to a square where a companion is standing, you will switch places. Now, say, move right, to move your character from the front left position to the front right position. You are now standing in front of the cultist.
I'm going to gut you.
The enemy is getting impatient. Let's move on to attacking. In order to perform an attack, the character attacking has to be in the same line as the enemy. Note that some skills take exception from this rule. The effectiveness of attacks is determined by the equipped weapons, stats, and positions of both parties. Melee weapons are most effective from the front line, and when standing on an adjacent square. Ranged weapons work best from the back line, and when there are at least one square in between the intended target. This is the perfect time to attack since you are standing directly in front of the enemy. Try attacking by saying, attack. You attack the cultist dealing 5 damage. That showed him. Let's take a look at companions next. Remember to not leave them hanging. If you have companions in your party, one of them will join you during combat. When outside of combat, you can choose what companion you want to fight with. You have the bard with you. Try changing to your companion by saying, switch character.
I'll put you right back to sleep.
You're now controlling the bard. Each companion has a unique class ability. This ability is enhanced by the intelligence statistic. The bard's class ability grants bonus health and intelligence for the rest of the combat, but stuns them until the end of your next round. Try using the bard's ability by saying chug or use class ability. The bard takes a deep chug from his bottle, enhancing his health and intelligence, but leaves him swaying on the spot. Let's continue by mentioning actions and turns. The player can take up to 3 actions during one combat turn. The actions are attacking, moving, and using an ability. You have now taken 3 actions, effectively ending your turn and starting the enemy's turn. The cultist readies his knife and attacks you, dealing 4 damage, ending the enemy's turn. You are controlling your character again, but you have taken damage and are severely injured. This is where items can come in handy.
Here, take this. You're going to need it.
Your companion handed you a health potion. Drinking potions restores some of your health. Try drinking the health potion by saying, drink potion. You drink the potion and restore all your health. Your maximum health is determined by your constitution and can be increased with items. The cultist is weakened. Let's finish him off by attacking once more. You attack the cultist, finishing him. Congratulations, this concludes the combat tutorial. If you need further assistance while in combat, try saying help. The man falls to the floor with a heavy thud, his eyes never looking away from you. All the other passengers are now widely awake, staring at the scene in shocked silence.
No. This is all wrong. It should be one of us who inherits the will, not you.
With the last sentence uttered, the man takes one final deep breath before passing. Men from the crew come rushing down into the quarters. Having heard the commotion,
What's going on here?
the bard goes to meet them.
We were just defending ourselves here. Let's see if we can't make up for this little misunderstanding.
Well then.
You overhear the bard
all
offering
right,
apologies
if we do.
and promises of compensation from Sable for the trouble. With the crew satisfied, the remains are carried upstairs. The bard then turns to you again.
You should get some rest. We still have some way to go. I'll keep watch.
Even though you doubt another second of sleep will come, sometime during the night, you drift into a slumber. You awaken to the call of land spotted by the crew, and quickly make your way topside. The sailors have dropped the sail and are advancing on oars. And a thick fog has enveloped the ship, obscuring all sight from the deck. Slowly, shapes start to form behind the misty veil. The docks of a small port are first to emerge. Next is a stone wall, hiding the town behind it. Tendrils of smoke from the town chimneys dance around the two rooftops that are tall enough to be seen. The other passengers are gathering on the deck as the ship makes its slow approach. A sailor throws a rope to others waiting at the dock, who proceeds to the ship.
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, make of it what you will. But here we are.
The gangplank is placed, and you rush off the ship. The bard follows close behind.
Welcome to Larkburn, Raven. Sable's idea of a safe haven. The captain informed me that he picked you up personally. My name is Irving. Let me accompany you to the door of the Adventurers Guild. Having company is never a bad thing, after all. Oh, and take this. Every adventurer needs it, even future ones.
Irving hands you a book.
You can use it to keep track of the tasks you have.
You have just received your journal and a new task. Let's take a look at the task at hand. Say, open journal to open it. After the narrow escape from Scary Bray, Sable has tasked you to board his ship and visit the Adventurers Guild in Largefern. You close your journal as you reach its final entry. With the bard by your side, you look around the docks of your new home. Large crates are stacked along the edge of the docks. A group of people is talking in hushed tones at the end of the pier. Going north will take you into town, where you see a building with an oddly shaped roof ornament. A round red bottle with a long neck stopper.
Feel free to look around the docks for a bit. We can go north when you are ready to head further into town.
What do you want to do? You smash the crate open and find a healing potion. You gain 3 experience points. You pick it up and stash it in your inventory.
You sure are fierce. It didn't stand a chance.
What do you want to do? You take the road north, making your way to the building with the ornament bottle on the roof.
This is the apothecary. The business is supposed to provide potions for guild members and beverages to the tavern. And over there is the owner of the establishment.
By a serving hatch, the store clerk is overlooking the street. To the north is a collapsed bridge. Looking east, you see a building with a large sign. Going south will lead back to the docks. What do you want to do?
Welcome, this is the apothecary, or it is supposed to be. Unfortunately, we had some trouble with shipments. But I have some equipment, so if you find any interesting looking plants, I might be able to offer some services as an alchemist. And if you are looking for things to buy, then head to the square.
You note down the task from the alchemist in your journal. What do you want to do? You are able to discern the large sign before getting close to the building. It portrays 2 shields bracketing the text. Adventurers Guild.
Here we are. This is where we part ways. The guildmaster is inside. Just use the door to enter. Well, I got a meeting with someone at the tavern.
You watch the bard walk north, before turning back to the Adventurers Guild. Several posters in various states of decay have been placed on the wall. The door leading inside is next to the posters. You also notice a sinkhole in the road just outside the building. To the north, you see the town square, bustling with activity. And to the west is the road that leads back to the apothecary. What do you want to do? You enter the Adventurers Guild. Inside, the seats at the long tables are gaping empty. A single chair in front of the crackling fireplace casts a solid shadow over the meticulously cleaned floor. Behind the bar, a man wearing a sleeveless brown dress, with a thick hooded veil obscuring their face, is skimming through a book laid open on the counter. The person looks up as you close the door behind you.
Welcome to the Adventurers Guild. I'm the acting Guildmaster. As you can see, we are a bit low on members, and need all the help we can get. Is there anything I can do for you?
What do you want to do?
So you are the one Sabo said he was going to get. Good. Let's get started immediately. I've got a mission for you, but I never send an adventurer alone. Too risky. We have 2 other adventurers in town, an elven bard named Earth, who should have been on the same boat as you, and a dwarf fighter named Finny. Irving can be a bit of trouble from time to time, but he is trustworthy. You will usually find him drinking his days away in the tavern. Fenrir can often be found by the smithy, discussing metal and craftsmanship. Her personality does not fit the model of an adventurer, but she is fiercely strong when it matters. Come back and speak to me after you've picked them up.
What do you want to do? You walk out of the guild hall. You find yourself outside the door of the Adventurers Guild. The posters on the wall have been left undisturbed. And there are no You walk to the center of the square. Standing next to a large fountain, surrounded by the cobblestone buildings, you take a look at all the individuals in motion. They are from all races, going about their daily life, plenty of them glancing up at the sun from time to time. At the west corner, you see a tavern and a market stand. To the north, from a building with a large chimney, you hear clanging. Must be the smithy. To the east is one of the tall buildings you spotted from the boat. To the south is the Adventurers Guild. You step into the tavern. The Tro tavern keeper is cleaning mugs during the downtime, and acknowledges you with a nod as you enter. A wood-burning smell from the dully glowing coals in the fireplace is filling the quiet tavern. An archway, at the other side of the building, is blocked off with a wooden plaque. The elven bard is sitting at a table right next to it, talking loudly between the swigs. Patrons at the same table are sitting quietly, exchanging awkward glances with each other as the bard keeps rambling. What do you want to do?
Is that purpose I see in your eyes? I take it you have been at the Adventurers Guild. Well, my mug is empty anyway. Let's head out. Are we picking up the fighter as well? If so, we will probably find her at the smithy.
The whole building suddenly shakes, and a cloud of dust bursts out from the blocked-off archway, filling the room quickly. A few seconds later, a goblin comes running out in a panic. It freezes on the spot as it notices it's not alone.
A goblin inside my favourite tavern. That won't do. Looks like it's time to perform.
You are standing in the front left position. Your companion is standing in the back left position. A knife-wielding goblin is standing on the back right position. You're controlling your character. You have 5 health. You have 3 actions left. You take a step to the right. You're controlling your character. You have 5 health. You have 2 actions left. You attack the knife-wielding goblin, dealing 6 damage. You're controlling your character. You have 5 health. You have 1 actions left. You're controlling your elf companion. They have 6 health. You have 1 actions left.
I can't attack them from here.
You're controlling your elf companion. The elf takes a step to the right. Ending your turn. Your enemies are preparing to retaliate. The knife-wielding goblin attacks you, dealing 1 damage. You're controlling your character. You have 4 health. You have 3 actions left. You attack the knife-wielding goblin, dealing 6 damage, turning them into a fine mist. You have defeated your enemies and you have gained 1 experience, giving you a total of 47 experience. Looting the remains, you find 1 gold, giving you a total of 21 gold. You have now attained enough experience to become level 2. You can now choose to increase your strength, intelligence, or constitution. Your intelligence has increased, greatly boosting your ability power. You now have 37 experience points. You have enough experience points to level up again. You are now level 3. As a rogue, you now have to specialize between the following 2 options. An assassin. The assassin specializes in knives and daggers, and are able to perform critical hits with these weapons. Or the sniper. The sniper is especially proficient in ranged weapons, and are able to perform critical hits with them. Your class has now changed to Sniper. You are now able to randomly perform critical strikes when using ranged weapons. You now have 7 experience points. You need another 53 experience to level up again.
What a mess! I hope this doesn't affect the tavern's business. I would have to drink at the Adventurers Guild instead. Not a pleasant thought.
What do you want to do? You walk to the center of the square, stopping next to the large fountain. At the west corner of the square is the tavern and the market stand. The sounds of hammers striking anvils get louder as you get closer. A blacksmith and a dwarf are having a discussion outside the building, while looking at equipment laid out on a table. They are discussing material and smithing techniques, the dwarf pointing and offering advice. To the north is the other tall building. From this distance the building resembles a place of worship. To the south is the way back to the square. What do you want to do?
Are you an adventurer? It so happens that I've been looking for a special kind of ore that has been said to be found in this part of the land. The characteristics of the ore are its blue veins. If you happen to come across it and bring it to me, I can make you something out of it.
You note down the task from the blacksmith in your journal.
With that said, if you're interested in buying some of my equipment, just come talk to me again.
What do you want to do?
So you're the one we have been waiting for? Well, I'm as ready as I will ever be. Let's go.
Now that we have the whole gang, let's go back to the Adventurers Guild.
A crash can be heard from the side of the smithy. Looking over, you see a goblin surrounded by equipment that had previously been on display. now spread out on the ground.
A thieving goblin! We cannot allow it to take the smithy's wares!
You are standing in the front left position. Your companion is standing in the back right position. A knife-wielding goblin is standing on the front right position. You're controlling your character. You have 15 health. You have 3 actions left. No enemies in range. You're controlling your character. You have 15 health. You are standing in the front left position. Your companion is standing in the back right position. A knife-wielding goblin is standing on the front right position. You're controlling your character. You have 15 health. You have 3 actions left. You take a step to the right. You're controlling your character. You have 15 health. You have 2 actions left. You attack the knife-wielding goblin, dealing 18 damage. You're controlling your character. You have 15 health. You have 1 actions left. You're controlling your dwarf companion. They have 24 health. You have 1 actions left. You attack the knife-wielding goblin, dealing 6 damage, killing them instantly.
It won't get back up after a hit like that!
You have defeated your enemies and you have gained 3 experience, giving you a total of 10 experience. Looting the remains, you find 1 gold, giving you a total of 22 gold.
Is it dead? Good? These tiny creatures always send a shiver down my spine.
You have now recruited both your companions, but only one of them can assist you during combat. To swap between the active companions, say, change companion when outside of combat. You're standing outside the blacksmith. What do you want to do? To the north, the clanging from the You walk up to the market stand, and the trader greets you. A few barrels and various knickknacks are neatly organized around the temporary shop. Laid out on a table are items for sale.
Step right up, my friend. Be warned that some of the items I sell are of magical nature, and not everyone outside this town takes kindly to someone owning them. Go ahead and browse my wares at your leisure. The cost of each item is marked next to them.
Displayed on the table is an oak heart longbow to the price of 10 gold, a sacrificial dagger to the price of 5 gold, a mysterious disc to the price of 7 gold.
Those are all the items I have for now. If you want to take a closer look before buying, feel free to do so.
What do you want to do? This longbow is almost as tall as its user. It grants the wielder a long draw and a powerful shot. Equipping this item grants the wielder +3 strength. This item can only be equipped by fighters or rogues. What do you want to do? The shopkeeper notices your interest in the item
You have a good eye, customer. The Elkhart longbow costs 10 gold. Do you want to buy it?
You put the Ochard longbow into your inventory. What do you want to do? You walk to the center of the square. You step up to the streets outside the Adventurers Guild. What do you want to do? You open your inventory. You have 12 gold and 5 healing potions and the following equipment in your inventory. You're carrying a Skulker's cloak and the Ochard longbow. What item do you want to interact with? Welcome to the inventory tutorial. This tutorial will go over the features and commands available. When you open the inventory, you choose what item to interact with. Following that, you can choose between these options. Look at. For a description of that item. Some items also have puzzles embedded in them. Use. To use that item in a puzzle situation, this includes the puzzles embedded in weapons. Equip on player. Equips the item to your player character. Equip on companion. Equips the item to the currently chosen companion. Change item. Choose another item to interact with in your inventory. And the last command is close back, to close the inventory. For a reminder of the available commands, say, help while inside the inventory. You are holding a Ochard longbow. What do you want to do? You equip the weapon. You are holding a Ochard longbow. What do you want to do? And the following equipment in your inventory. You're carrying a Skulker's cloak and a Ochard longbow. What item do you want to interact with? You are holding a Skulker's cloak. What do you want to do? You equip the armor. You are holding a Skulker's cloak. What do you want to do? You close your bag. You're standing outside the Adventurers Guild. Interact with your surroundings by You enter the Adventurers Guild. Inside. The Guildmaster is still going through the same book as last time. The fireplace has recently been stoked. And the single chair in front of it casts a solid shadow over the meticulously cleaned floor. What do you want to do?
Good. You got your companions. Now to the mission. I'm going to be blunt. We have had numerous troubles lately. Our problems began with sinkholes turning up outside the town, but now we have spread inside the walls. We kept filling them in, but they reemerge and multiply. Then people started disappearing. The last one to disappear was one of our adventurers. Pila, a practitioner. I've urged Sable to let me and a couple of others investigate, but he assured me that he had found someone new. I don't know why it has to be you, and what he has in mind, but here we are now. The first thing I am sending you out to do is to search through Pila's house, but I want you to do it at night. We have kept her disappearance a secret, and with the people already on edge, we want to keep it that way. Feel free to sleep on the chair in front of the fireplace if you need to pass the time. Also, take this. It's a spare key to her place. Her house is at the square.
What do you want to do? You sit down in front of the fireplace, the mesmerizing dance of the fire lull you to sleep. And you wake up a couple of hours later. What do you want to do?